Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we have our Melissa and Doug magic kit and it's all made of wood. And you know how much we love wooden toys. Let's start with the first magic trick. Daniel Tiger wants me to pull the sword out of the stone. I'm using all my strength. Oh, and I just can't pull it out. Baby Margaret grabs the sword and pulls it right out of the stone. How did you do that, Baby Margaret? Well, Daniel Tiger is going to let us in on a little trick. On the back of the stone, there are little screws, and this screw is actually a button. You have to push it to get the sword out. There's a little spring that hooks onto the sword when the button isn't pushed. Next is the magical color-changing string. Here we have our white string, and I pull it through the wooden gem box. The string turns to red. How does it do that? And now I pull it back, and the string is back to white. Wow! Now for our final trick, the disappearing box. Daniel Tiger wants me to put the 3 colorful pom-poms in the top of the box. Where did they go? They're not underneath or behind. Now baby Margaret goes into the box. She's disappearing. Where did she go? Can you spot her, tiny fans? I see her ear. The box actually is divided into 2 sections. In the one section of the box is a mirror, and it creates an optical illusion of a big empty box. You can create your own magic show at home. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today Daniel Tiger and his family are going for a drive. They're driving to a trail where they're going to go for a nice family walk. Everyone is buckled in, and baby Margaret is riding in her pink car seat. They're going to drive up a mountain. Good thing the car is 4-wheel drive. They walk along a snowy trail with trees all around them. They walk as a family in the trees at least once a week. It's good for the mind, and it's good for their health. On the ride home, the car makes a funny sound and breaks down on the side of the road. Uh-oh! Mom Tiger uses the car phone to call a tow truck. They all wait in the car until the tow truck driver arrives about 20 minutes later. Honk honk! The tow truck backs close to the front of their vehicle. Daniel's dad explains to the tow truck driver that he would like the car towed 5 miles down the road to a garage where they will get their car looked at and fixed. Yeah, no problem. I will hook your car up to the tow truck and take it to the garage down the road. But first, everyone is going to have to get out of the vehicle just for safety reasons, please. Okay, kids, Mom, Tiger, did you hear that? Everyone needs to get out of the vehicle and we'll stand to the side. Baby Margaret, I'll help you get out. Daniel and his family stand far away from the tow truck and their car. They watch as the tow truck hooks onto their vehicle with a big red hook. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. The car starts to raise off the ground, but only the front part. Okay, I'm all hooked up. I hope you have a ride? Yes, we just called a friend and they're going to come pick us up. We'll meet you at the garage. Thank you so much for your help today. And off their car went to get fixed. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We are about to board an airplane to head to London, Tiny fans. But before we do, we have a healthy lunch. Tiny Treasures has a beautiful salad and a fruit cup. We get some fancy glasses for our still water. And we're all going to share one last pretzel before we leave Germany. When we're traveling, it's important to eat healthy most of the time, and we can still enjoy special treats once in a while. Daniel Tiger and his family board the airplane. They look at their tickets and find their seat numbers. It's important to find your seat quite quickly so that the other people behind you aren't waiting long. It's time to fasten your seatbelts as soon as you sit down. One of Tiny Treasure's favorite things to do once they get on the plane is look at the food menu. And since this is a British airline, we want to see what the snacks are like. We've just eaten, so we are just looking, not buying. There's some porridge if you come on the morning time. A couple sandwich choices. Oh, a cheese and tapa platter. A little bowl of nuts. You can order a bag of crunchy chips or some globe-trotting Percy gummies. There's some chocolates, a Kit Kat bar, some shortbread, or a granola bar. And then there are the drinks. And a lot of the drinks have sugar in them. So we just bring our own water in our metal water bottles to drink on board. We're now in the sky and we will be in London very shortly. It's a quick flight. In a couple hours, we can start to see bits of London. There are a few clouds, but the sun is still peeking through. London is full of trains, so we're going to hop on a train and head to our hotel room. It's nice and bright, and we even have some little pigeon friends outside. It's been quite a few hours since lunchtime, so our bellies are starting to feel hungry. Tonight we're going to try one of the most popular meals in London. Do you know what it is, Tiny fans? We take a nice walk through a cobblestone street. Daniel Tiger and his family are going to order the same food we are. Fish and chips, very popular here in London. Although it's not very healthy, we ate salad for lunch, so this is our special treat. And it's so big, we're just going to share it. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We are going to read a story from Daniel Tiger's Neighbourhood called Look for the Helpers. When I was a child, I used to watch Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood. Fred Rogers was such a wonderful influence on children. This is his advice. When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.' To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words, and I am always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world." Mr. Rogers. Daniel Tiger was with Dad Tiger when he saw dark clouds filling the sky. "There is a big storm coming to the neighborhood," Daniel said. "That's right," Dad said. "Our friends are coming to our house so they have a safe place to stay during the storm. It's part of our safety plan." Soon the sky became even darker. The rain went whoosh, and the loud thunder went boom. "I don't like storms," Daniel said. Daniel felt worried. Mom and Dad told Daniel, "Grown-ups are here to keep you safe." Then they sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." That made Daniel feel a little better. He wanted to know more about the plan. "The first part of our plan," Dad said, "is to find a safe place inside." Daniel felt much better now. His home was a safe place, so they went inside. Katerina Kitty Cat, Oh the Owl, and their families needed a safe place for the storm too. They came to Daniel's house for a family sleepover. Daniel wished it was sunny so they could play outside. "Do you want to make believe with me?" Daniel asked his friends. "Let's make believe that we're playing outside in all kinds of weather. So many seasons, so many ways to play. In the springtime, there are raindrops and puddles to splash in. In the fall, I can play all around in the leaves. In the winter, build a snowman and make a snow angel. Swim in the sunshine, enjoy the summer heat." "What's the next part of our safety plan?" Daniel asked. Mom said the next step was to make sure they had an emergency supply kit. Daniel found a flashlight, a first aid kit, and water. Then all of a sudden the lights went out. "Who turned off the lights?" Daniel asked. "Sometimes a big storm can make the lights go out," Dad said. "But we're right here and you are safe." Daniel sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." Even though the lights went out, Daniel and his friends still had dinner. Dad lit candles and made sandwiches for a terrific inside picnic. Soon it was time for bed. Katerina and O slept in sleeping bags in Daniel's bedroom. "I like having everyone around," Daniel said. "It makes me feel safe." Having a safe place to sleep was the last part of the emergency plan. In the morning, the rain stopped. The storm was over. Daniel looked out the window and saw tree branches and leaves on the ground. The storm had made a big mess. Dad Tiger said, "When I was young and I would see scary things, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" Later that day, it was safe for Katerina Kitty Cat, Oh the Owl, and their families to go back to their tree house. When Trolley had to stop in the road because of branches on the ground, Daniel was scared. Then he looked for the helpers. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see?" Daniel saw Mr. McFeely. He was helping pick up branches. "Thank you for helping, Mr. McFeely," Daniel said. The Tiger family went all around the neighborhood to make sure their other neighbors were safe too. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the castle?" Prince Wednesday and his family were helping by cleaning up. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the museum go-round?" Miss Elena and her mom were helping clean up the neighborhood too. When Trolley reached the clock factory, Daniel and his family saw that a big tree had fallen down in front of it.
Daniel was scared. Then he remembered the song he sang. Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe. He reached for his dad's hand. Then he looked for the helpers. Look for the helpers. Who do you see? Daniel saw firefighters were helping move the tree. Even Trolley was a helper. Trolley pulled the tree away from the clock factory. Daniel was a helper too. He planted a new tree to help everyone remember how they helped the neighborhood after the big storm. The big storm was a little scary, but Daniel felt better when he looked for the helpers. There were a lot of helpers, Ugga-Mugga. Do you want to learn more about staying safe and about looking for helpers? Read on for some helpful advice from Daniel Tiger and friends. Staying safe every day. Even when there isn't an emergency, you can stay safe every day by wearing a seatbelt, staying with a trusted grown-up, wearing a helmet, and more. Can you think of other things you can do to stay safe? Staying safe in an emergency. Emergencies can be scary because they sometimes happen very suddenly, but there are things you can do before, during, and after an emergency to stay safe. Turn the page to learn more. Before an emergency, make a safety plan. Find a safe place to stay inside. This might be your home, or it might be a friend's or a relative's house. If the power goes out, you will need food on hand that doesn't need to be refrigerated to stay fresh, and you need to have lots of bottled water to drink. Whenever possible, try to stick to a routine. For example, once you're in a safe place, try to go to bed at the same time as usual. Make an emergency supply kit that includes warm blankets, extra clothing, sturdy shoes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, flashlights with extra batteries, a hand crank radio, a first aid kit with bandages, antibiotic ointment, and also consider books and games to help pass the time, or your favorite stuffed animal or toy. It can be comforting. During an emergency, here are some things you can do if you get worried during an emergency. Take a deep breath. Listen, watch, and follow instructions. Hold on to a grown-up's hand. It's important to stay with a helper who will keep you safe. After an emergency, things might not be the way they used to be. It can take some time to get used to these changes. Here are some ways you can start to feel better. Use your words to describe how you are feeling. Are you scared, sad, angry, or lonely? You can also draw a picture that shows how you are feeling. If you are confused, ask questions. A grown-up will help you. Understand what happened during the emergency. Keep a routine like brushing your teeth after breakfast or singing a song before bed. Even if many things feel different, some things can stay the same. Another thing you can do after an emergency is to look for the helpers. Every day there are grown-ups who help keep you safe. Here are some people who can help with an emergency. Your parents or caregivers. They can help keep you safe at home. Doctors or nurses. They can help you if you are hurt. Firefighters. They can help put out fires and help clear dangerous objects from roads. Teachers. They can help keep you safe when you are at school. This is a great book for kids. Our world has seen some pretty scary stuff like floods, tornadoes, and fires. Let's all do our part to take care of the earth. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today our family is traveling across the lake on our paddleboards and kayaks. We all wear our life jackets, even Poppy. We paddle to a private beach directly across the lake. Pull up your paddleboard onto the beach so it doesn't float away. The beach has beautiful wild flowers and the sound of birds. Let's have a listen. Tiny Treasures Minnie has discovered some sort of water bug. Let's go over and have a look. Oh, a butterfly just landed on the kayak. Did you see it? There are lots of butterflies attracted to the wild flowers. These little blue flowers are called forget-me-nots. Oh, do you see the bugs? They're actually little black diving beetles. They're quite small and they can be on the surface of the water or dive down underneath. Oh, and here comes Puppy to check it out too. The beetles are scared of Puppy, so they swim away. The flowers are so pretty. Daniel and his mom float in the water amongst the flowers. There are also lots of wild roses. And they are so fragrant. It's time for me to go. It's family time and picnic time. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye.